It's time for Landmark Medical's High School Hoops, sponsored by Martel Plumbing and Heating.
From Providence, Rhode Island, the Landmark Medical Center High School Hoops, presented by Martel Plumbing and Heating. Hi everyone, Frank Carpano alongside Joe Hassett for tonight's High School Hoops game, and it's a big one, a rivalry game between Central and Classical. You know, we talk about in-state rivals, cross-town rivals. This is cross-street rivals here, Joe.
I know, there's a big rivalry between these two teams. How about this? The coach of Classical is the assistant principal at Central. So you talk, I mean, they know each other very well. They hang out all summer, so this should be a very interesting game. But Classical is 7-0, very good. And Central's starting to get it going now, 2-5.
You throw out the records in a game like this, a rivalry game. This means so much to these kids in these schools.
Oh, without question. You know, they played against each other since grade school. Now they go to high school against each other, so it should be an interesting game. It's always been a good game between these two teams.
All right, let's talk about the keys to the game. Let's begin for Central on offense. What's important for them to come away with a win tonight?
Well, Central patiently aggressive. They want to play a 1-3-1 zone and try to slow down Classical. Classical wants a high-paced game, and Central wants to slow it down with the defense and make Classical play at a slow pace.
So get out in transition, one of the keys for Classical here tonight.
Well, Classical, they want to get a shot off in like 10 seconds. They want to press the whole game, tough man-to-man. They play man-to-man the whole ball game, and they want to speed you up and make you play fast.
Some really good
Landmark Medical's High School Hoops.
Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, with same-day mattress and recliner eye delivery.
And welcome back to Providence and tonight's big rivalry game between two schools that are just feet apart. Central versus Classical. Should be a good one. Happy that you're along with us here tonight. Frank Carpano along with Joe Hassett, Pete Connell, our statistician alongside. And we are ready for high school hoops action here on the Charge Network, also on turn210.com, our NBC 10 YouTube page, Facebook Live. We're everywhere. as we take a look now at the starting lineups for tonight's game, as we begin with the visiting Classical Purple. There you see the name Jordan Duke atop that list. He is David Duke, who you may remember from Providence College, currently in the NBA. That's his brother. And over to the home team, the Central Knights. They have a freshman there, Makai Richardson, 6'7" forward, who Coach Mike Reed is very high on. He gets the start here tonight for Central. Our officials tonight, Chris Nichinsky, Mike Gallagher, and we are ready to go. So what do you think, Joe? Are we going to see a bit of a track meet like we did in our last game, the Henrik and North Kingstown game, or this more of a half-court game these two teams play?
Well, Classical wants it to track meet. They want to get up and down. They don't have the size that Central has. They want to get shots up between 12 and 10 seconds. I mean, they want to get it up, and Central wants to slow them down. They want to play a little 1-3-1 zone and see if they can slow the pace down.
All right, Classical controls off the tap and in for the layup, the miss, and a rebound by Nakai Richardson.
And Classical plays straight man-to-man all the time.
Cassier Maria, no good. And here we go, back and forth to start this one. Loose ball, and that's out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Classical Purple. So a lot of enthusiasm tonight. Now, you may not see any fans in the distance here on courtside, but they're up above. This is primarily a track facility, but something that's interesting about the floor here tonight, this is the old Providence Civic Center floor. There's a long shots by Classical's Devin Sohn, no good.
That was a good move to get this floor, too. They probably would have junked it. And they get to play a nice floor in this place. I've never been in this place before, but it's a good basketball facility for them.
This floor was the floor that they used back in the '87 Final Four year, I think it was. Is that correct?
That's correct, yep.
Yep. So some good juju on this floor here.
You know, Friars were black and white colors, and you got red trim with Providence on it out there. It makes a lot of sense, so it's probably a good idea to get rid of that floor.
All right, some little pressure here by Classical, then off in the corner. Shot no good for Central's Jonathan Ramos. Back out top, this is Cassier Maria, senior guard, running the offense tonight.
You know, this is a Central team that's a good rebounding team. Classical is a little worried about their rebounding in a game like this because Central has more size. They don't want to give second shot opportunity to Central.
Elijah Reed with a hoop, and we have our first basket of the game.
Tough shot right there. Good defense on him. He just makes it.
Quickly down the other end, and Azzy Harrison with a basket for
That'll
Classical.
drive a coach crazy, Frank, when you do that. The ball's thrown out of bounds there, but you score and you get beat for a layup down the other end. No excuse for that. But Elijah Reed, he transferred from Smithfield. He's the nephew of the head coach, Mike Reed, here at Central. And he's their best player, and he made a nice move right there. But they got a little 2-3 zone going on right now for Central. They did put in a 1-3-1 this week to try to mix things up and slow Classical down with the shot clock. 35 seconds. They want to make Classical take some time because Classical, with their size, they don't have a lot of big guys on Classical, but they're all fast, and every one of their players can play any position on the floor.
There's John Cavanaugh, the head coach for Classical, 17th year as head coach here. In the corner, this is Jordan Duke, gets it to go for three.
David Duke's younger brother. And how about number 4 out there for Classical? That's Abdullah's son, former Friar point guard. So you got a little Friar action going on here for Classical.
Maria, no good. A rebound by Elijah Delbray, quickly down the other end, and the shot by Duke, no good, but he is fouled on the play.
It's like his older brother, but David Duke's brother there, Jordan, he's a football player on Classical's team, so he's a rugged kid. He gives him a physical presence inside, but he also can finish on the break and make outside shots, so he's very versatile out there.
We had Classical a football game on this past year, and he handled the ball quite a bit on offense. He is really a force. Built a little bit differently than his brother.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to get hit by him running through the line. He's a big dude.
Lester Rodriguez checks in for the first time tonight for the Knights. Second free throw for Duke. Gets that to go.
It's that press. They like to press 1-2-2 after a made free throw.
And the ball will stay with the Central Knights here.
You know, with Central now, they like to use a little bit more of the shot clock. Classical, they don't want to use the shot clock. They want to get it down there, and first mismatch they get, they want to take it. The Classical tries to force you to speed up. Their man-to-man is good D. They play tough D on the ball.
Rodriguez drives around, finds the open man, and to the hoop. Shot blocked. Here come the purple. Down the other end, Sohn gets knocked away, but this ball will stay with Classical. Classical 9-1 on the season, 7-0 in Division I. And if you remember the game we had earlier this week at Henrican beating North Kingstown, very impressive performance. This Classical purple team earlier this week beat Henrican by 21 points.
Yeah, I mean, they had the pace of the game. They have all finishers too. You can't slough off on anyone. There's Elijah Reed again. He's got 4 points in his ball, 4 for Central. He's a good shooter, and he gets to the basket nicely. There's that 2-3 zone right now by Central. See, this is what slows a team down. Sometimes you get frustrated when you like to play fast and you have to slow down against the zone.
In the middle, trying to go down low. Goes off the hands of Jonathan Ramos, and Classical will have it with 11 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Yeah, they get Duke there in the corner. He likes to instigate the offense from that deep corner, try to get the ball into the middle.
This is Rodriguez, and he is fouled on the play. First foul against Classical here tonight.
Well, Lester Rodriguez, he was in the starting lineup, and then they took him out of the starting lineup for a little bit, but he's got a nickname. He's like the microwave out there. He's a sophomore. He's very talented. He's their leading scorer, and he's their best defensive player. You know, a lot like a Friars Devin Carter. You know, you have your leading scorer and your best defensive player. And this kid here, sometimes he can take over a game. He's got a nice stroke from the foul line. Lester Rodriguez, the microwave. Only a sophomore, too, so he's going to get better and better. Nice rotation on that free throw. You see that? Nice little follow through. You talk about teams and rivalries too, Frank. You know, Classical 7-0.
From outside, Azzy Harrison for 3.
Azzy Harrison looks like he's got a smooth game out there. There's that defense, that trap in the front.
Back comes Classical now. Another little jump shot in and out. Harrison can't get that one to go.
Well, Classical gets a lot of opportunities off their turnovers. They try to score off their turnovers. They want to get out on the break.
From way outside, and that one a little bit short for Elijah Reed.
Yeah, that was a deep one, a little bit out of his range there probably. So you look at, there's Abdullah, not like his father there, getting into that zone.
Foul underneath. And that'll go against Jonathan Ramos. And that'll put Duke back on the line as he was fouled from behind.
Duke knocks out, and he's got a nice little stroke on the foul line. But he's their center on this team, Frank. I mean, they're not a big team size-wise, you know, height-wise. But, you know, 7-0 in the league, 9-1 overall. Their only loss was to Chris Dunn's high school down in Connecticut.
Right, out-of-state game.
Out-of-state game. So they've done. They've been solid all year, this Classical team, but they beat you with speed and quickness.
A little lane violation, and here comes Central now. A little trap, and from outside, there's a three-point basket for Jonathan Ramos.
They're gonna find that guy. He's a good shooter from the outside. He was wide open on that one.
His pass in the middle. Elijah Delbray is blocked.
Kai Richardson there, he's 6'7". You know, the coach feels like he has great big-time potential. He's only a freshman. He's 6'7" already.
All right, 3:46 to go in the first quarter. We're going to take a break here. More high school hoops coming your way after this. And welcome back to Providence. Tonight's high school hoops game, Central and Classical. The Purple leading 11-9 here in the first quarter. And want to let you know that you can also enjoy these broadcasts on our Facebook Live page presented by Trattoria Appia Restaurant. Up on Federal Hill, indulge in the familiar, experience the extraordinary. There you see some of the crowd gathered here tonight. As we mentioned, this is a huge facility, primarily a track facility. In fact, they've got a big track meet, multi-state track meet planned for tomorrow here in Providence. But tonight it's high school basketball and a good crowd for this pink out night that we'll have more details on as we get more into this game here tonight. But for right now, foul shots for the Classical Purple. Eliza Delbray stepping to the line, as Joe mentioned, sophomore guard, leading scorer for this Classical Purple team.
You know, it's funny, Central's a young team. You know, they play a lot of sophomores, and their best players are the younger guys. And Elijah Delbray, who's only a sophomore for Classical, he's their leading scorer and a good combo player, their best all-around player.
Well, it's tough. Central graduated 8 seniors last year. Back down the other end. Nice move, but in and out. Can't get it to go for Jonathan Ramos. Quickly back come the Purple, and loose ball. Down the other end, Micaiah Richardson goes in, and that one tipped in. Wow.
That
was
Jonathan Ramos on the tip in. What a nice tip in right there to control that missed shot. Central playing good basketball. They've been off to a slow start. Talking to the coach Mike Reed, he says we're better than our record, but I think we'll get better as the year goes on, and they're showing what they can be.
Up, no good. Rebound. That one is reeled in by Devin Stone, and he gets the ball to go, and we're going to count that, and he'll get one more.
Well, that's a heck of a shot by Stone right there. Nice pump fake. You know, young players don't use enough pump fakes. They got the big guy up in the air and then leaned in, got the contact, and threw it in off the glass. He gets a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Pump fake right there. He gets him up there and then throws it up there. As soon as you hear that whistle, throw it up towards the hoop there. You might get an opportunity to get a three-point play.
All right, here's Devin Stone trying to convert the three-point play. He gets it to go. The foul goes against Central's Jermaine Colon, his second, so he comes out. J.J. Joseph takes his place. And one of the disadvantages to this facility here is the ball gets away.
You need an Uber to go get it. I mean, it's a long way from. There's no stands back there to stop it.
And chasing it down is Jonathan Ramos. Getting his steps in tonight.
Oh yeah, they get a few steps in this game. Good pace. But Ramos having a good ball game so far, the young sophomore.
Oh, nice spin around move, and he gets that to go. Nice basket there by J.J. Joseph.
J.J. Joseph, another sophomore. Comes off the bench. Knocks that one down on a loose ball, created some contact and gets the score. You know, this Classical team, they're a spurtable team though, Frank. They hang around and, you know, they play good basketball, and then all of a sudden they get that press going and get some turnovers and they get you going. But Central doing a good job of hanging in this one, getting some rebounds and getting some opportunities.
The three-point play brings Central within one now and a chance to go ahead. They bring the ball down after Classical turns it over.
Well, Abdullah had a right idea on that pass. He had his man run down the middle there, but Central doing a good job of getting back on defense.
And that ball kicked out of bounds by Classical. Rolls across the track. Everybody able to catch their breath. That's one of the advantages of a loose ball here.
Well, it's like having 14 timeouts in this ball game. You go get the ball.
Outside, shot no good. Big rebound there by Eliza Delbray. Delbray can't control it. Loose ball picked up by Abdul Evans, and he drives in for the basket.
Good move by Abdul Evans there. Used the left hand off the glass too in traffic.
Wide shot from outside. That's good for three. Elijah Reed.
You know, with Elijah Reed on one end and and Ramos on the other side. That's pretty good shooters out there. Good block shot there by Makai Richardson, the 6'7" freshman. Coaches feel like he has a big upside. You know, 6'7" as a freshman. He's probably going to be 6'9" or 6'10" when he's done.
Well, Central Knights going to take a 30-second timeout to talk about things here with 1:43 to go and a tie game. You know, you look at the records and you think, okay, you know, Classical's going to run away with this one. But this is a rivalry game when you really throw the records out, Joe, especially for these two teams, Central and Classical, so close to each other, right across the street from one another. As you mentioned earlier in the show, these kids grew up with each other and now facing each other on opposite ends of the floor.
Oh, yeah, you want to beat your next door neighbor, that's for sure. And you know, Classical off to the good start that we already mentioned, up at 7-0 in the league. But Classical's had some team, you know, they've beaten teams by an average of 19 points this year.
Wow.
So, you know, the teams hang around. The last game they played against Hendrick, and it was a close game, and then all of a sudden they got it rolling at the end, won by 21.
Little drive to the hoop and a nice little scoop and lay in by Delbray. Up over center court comes Rodriguez. He goes in, blocked, nice. Rebound no good.
Here comes a break.
There it is. Sohn with a layup.
Well, Classical is so fast, and when they get off that rebound, they're off to the races.
Another turnover and another basket for Classical. Azzy Harrison this time. And what was just moments ago a tie game is now a 23-17 lead for the purple of Classical.
As we talked about, this team is a spurtable team. This good fake right there. Nice job there. Ramos has a nice game. I mean, he's a good shooter. He shows the ball there. Good pump fake. That's a big hoop for them.
From outside, Harrison can't get it to go.
Now the game's getting a little bit faster. That's what Classical wants. Rodriguez, though, is the guy who likes it that fast, too.
Big three-point basket for Lester Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, the microwave out there. He can get it going. He's their leading scorer, and he's their best defender.
Final minute of the first quarter here from outside. No good. Rebound. Central has it with 23 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. From the outside, Reeds. And the rebound there by Duke. Oh, and intercepted. It's Richardson. Takes it to the hoop. Gets it to go.
Good play by Richardson. Great anticipation. The big guy gets it at midcourt. Takes it right to the basket.
Final seconds now inside. And a foul called with 1 second to go here in the first quarter.
This is a good ball game right now. This all of a sudden it turned up the volume, and the guys are getting up and down the floor, but they're making shots too.
Well, we knew it was going to be a good one and living up to what we expected here as Devin Sohn steps to the line. We'll get two as we wrap up the first period of play.
You know, the fundamentals of both teams is very good, Frank. I mean, they're pump faking. They know guys like to block shots. You know, when you go to the basket and guys are trying to block your shot, you show them the ball a little bit, get them up in the air, and then create some contact, get themselves to the line. That's good, solid fundamentals.
Gets it to go, and 1 second, they'll inbound the ball. Long shot from way outside is no good. They'll chase that one down. And the score after 1 quarter here, we're knotted up at 24. Back after this. All right, welcome back to Providence here, Central and Classical. Ready for the start of the second period. It is the Classical Purple leading at 25-24, but one heck of a first quarter of play here tonight, Joe. Bit of a track meet, kind of like we had in our first game earlier this week with Henrican and North Kingstown.
Yeah, I mean, and the game is solid too. That Henrican North Kingstown game was a 20-point game out of the gate, 25-5, but these guys are playing good basketball right now. And you know, you look at the tradition of these schools, the Classical, you know, back in the day was like a Division II team, and they, you know, Don Pastine, old coach, who did a great job here at coaching Classical. Then Central was my biggest rival. When I was at LaSalle, Central beat us in the state championship my junior and senior year. They had some good players with Billy Perry and Dobie Dennis. I mean, they were very good teams.
Well, the 2024 edition of the Central Knights now down by a point to start the second period of play.
Yeah, that's a tough shot there by
Rodriguez,
but Abdullah did a good job guarding him right there. Didn't give him any space.
In the corner, Harrison, no good. And the rebound by Rodriguez.
It's got to be fun to play with Abdullah. I mean, he is so quick, and he's looking to pass first. He's trying to get in the teeth of the defense and find a teammate for a shot. A lot like his father was at Providence. I mean, his father was that way too. Never looked to shoot, always looking to pass. Here's Rodriguez again, forcing a little bit.
Harrison ahead, and Evans cannot catch up to it. In fact, his dad was on that '94 first Big East championship team, tournament championship team for the Providence Friars.
Yep.
That'll be honored tomorrow at the AMP.
Rick Bonds was the coach then. He needed a point guard, and he got Abdullah right here in Rhode Island. Classical now look like they're playing a little bit of a zone. They haven't played zone much all year.
Little jump hook there, and then gets it to go. J.J. Joseph.
J.J. Joseph, the sophomore class here at Central, is making an impact in this ball game.
Underneath.
David, that's Duke right there with the big rebound. You see, Markel Richardson is a presence in there, Frank, with his 6'7" size. You know, he get the rebound, and there's a good rebound there by Duke, but he couldn't squeeze the shot off against Richardson.
Coach was talking about how much he has grown over the past year, and sometimes the coordination suffers when there's that much growth in high school, but not so with this young man.
Boy, nice ball movement right there. That was beautiful.
Oh,
that's good execution right there. They threw 6 passes before they took the shot. It was wide open by Kevin Sohn. Knocks that one down from deep.
Little trap at half court. Central breaks it, finds the open man underneath.
Nice pass.
That one almost goes in there for J.J. Joseph.
Good pass there by Jonathan Ramos. He got along the baseline. You know, I'm impressed with Richardson. He's only a freshman. He gets trapped at midcourt. You know, you don't like to pick the ball up at midcourt. And then you're going to get, you know, the midcourt line becomes like a third defender. You can't go backwards, but he had enough presence to throw it over the top and find a teammate. Good pass there by Ramos to his teammate, but missed the free throw. J.J. Joseph, good lift off the bench for this team.
Arnold Makama checks in for the first time as Azzy Harrison steps out after picking up his second foul of the game.
Yeah, here the coaches for Central next to us saying sprint back because they know Classical wants to get the ball down to like 10 seconds.
Gelbray in the paint.
Nice.
Little jump shot.
Good smooth move there by Gelbray. You know, this team, everybody can score on this Classical team.
Right down the other end. No stopping Lester Rodriguez on that one.
That was a sweet move by Rodriguez. Nobody stopped the ball. They went right down the middle, laid it up.
From outside, no good for Evans.
Yeah. Both teams, man, they'd like to get the ball up the floor. You know, when you said about Central, they wanted to control the pace, but they're in a running game right now with Classical and hanging in there.
Yeah, it's funny, Coach Kavanaugh said that Abdul Evans, who's Abdullah's son, looks just like him, and he does.
Oh yeah, he plays like him.
And
you know, he's
mannerisms,
low to the ground,
everything, yeah.
And he plays good defense. He's right after it. He's good intensity out there. He doesn't take any time off. You know, Central likes to get the ball to the rim, but in this game here, Classical do a good job of keeping him on the perimeter. Good defense by Classical right now. Central hasn't got the ball past the foul line in this one.
8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Rodriguez taking it to the hoop, stops, pops, and hits.
Well, you talk about a microwave. I mean, he is a guy who can get his own shot at any time, Rodriguez. Nice play right there.
Big rebound by Jordan Duke, knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Central's ball.
Yeah, Duke had the position that time because the big fella for Central, Richardson, went out to try to block the shot. So Duke gets the rebound, but good defense in there by Central. Good ball movement.
Nice spin move in the lane, no good. And a little bump on the drive. There'll be a foul called here.
Tell you, a great pace in the game too, though, Frank. I mean, guys they get the rebound. They're not walking it up the floor. They're pushing it down the floor as quickly as possible. Classical wants to beat that zone down the floor way to get a quick shot.
Rodriguez picks up his first foul of the game as Classical inbounds, and the loose ball picked up by Rodriguez. Takes it in. It's good. Wow.
Rodriguez is having a ball game out here. He's a tough matchup right now for Classical. He's scoring at will. There's a 2-3 zone again by Central. Nice move by Abdullah there. Abdullah Evans. Here comes Rodriguez now. He's thinking he's going to shoot every time. He's taking probably 3 bad shots, but you got to live with that with him.
Elijah Reed.
Nice.
Smooth stroke.
That's a good shot there by Reed. I mean, he gets to the foul line on the spin move. He has good size. He elevates over the defender.
Evans out top, underneath, wide open there, and blocked. Elijah Delbray.
Richardson comes over and blocks the shot right there. Delbray had the shot right away, but, you know, Richardson's presence in there, you know, you don't see a lot of big guys in Providence.
All right, we're going to take a break here with 3:15 to go in the first half, and Central leading Classical. Hey, stay tuned for the Ortho Rhode Island halftime report. We'll meet our scholar athletes, have a special interview with a Central High School administrator. First half highlights and more. That's all coming up during the Ortho Rhode Island halftime reports. 3:15 to go in the first half, and Central leading it by a score of 35-30.
Well, it's been Lester Rodriguez show out there for Central. He has 11 points in the ball game, and you know he's really looking for his offense for sure. I tell you, the size of Central has bothered Classical a little bit in here, especially the big fellow inside Richardson blocking shots.
Shot from outside, and getting it to go was Elijah Delbray.
Yeah, he's a good shooter, Delbray. That's his second one out there. Here comes that defense by Classical. They want to turn the ball over, then push the ball up, get it to Evans. Look for Classical try to get the ball in the middle a little bit. They're finding that deep corner over there for shots, but they'd have guys over there can make the shot.
Mukama couldn't get it to go. Here come the Knights. Up by 2.
Look at this guy, freshman. He's got skills, that kid. He's going to be good. Richardson, remember that name.
Oh, way outside. And no good for Elijah Reed. Here comes Evans. Down low, back out top, moving the ball quickly. Wide open man. And that was Jordan Duke who can't get it to go, but he was bothered on that play.
You're right. See, when Duke caught the ball, he looked at Richardson. He was worried about getting the shot block, and he missed the layup. If he takes it up right away, he would have scored. But Richardson's presence out there is bothering these guys.
Down the other end.
Blocked by Richardson.
Up again, no good. And they're going to call a jump ball here.
How about Makai Richardson? I mean, he has been playing terrific basketball, but he's been a presence out there even when he isn't blocking shots. Maybe he comes in this one. He timed it great. He went up, boom, blocks it off the glass. I mean, that kid there, now when you're out there playing, you know he's back there. So Classical's not as comfortable going to the basket anymore because his presence in there makes them worry about taking shots. Just a freshman, too.
Our officials tonight, Chris Nichinsky, Mike Gallagher talking things over. And we invite you to stay tuned later in the fourth quarter as we'll feature the Martel Plumbing and Heating Play of the Game, Rhode Island's most trusted plumbing, heating, and cooling company for over 97 years.
You know, this Central team at 2-5 in the league, I don't know if you want to play them going forward. I mean, they're getting better out here. And this young freshman Richardson, he's only going to get better as the year goes on. Mentioned before the commercial break, they had 6'7". You don't see a lot of guys playing in Rhode Island at 6'7", but he has guard skills. I mean, he can play any position out there. He made a nice spin move down here with the ball. So when you play him, you got to worry about everything out there. He's not the typical 6'7" Rhode Islander who just plays on the square. He can get all over the place.
Well, the Central team graduated 8 seniors. We had mentioned last year they won their first 11 games, lost their first 4 this year. So they are rebounding and finding their identity and looking pretty good here tonight, leading 35-33.
Yeah, it's tough to lose that many guys. There's again the big fella Richardson bothered that shot. They had a layup and he just took it away.
Richardson stops, pops, gets blocked. And here comes Classical down the other end. Driving to the hoop, and we'll get that one to go for Elijah Delbray.
Elijah Delbray is having a good ball game. He's made a couple of threes in this ball game. That one there, they backed off a little bit. He got to the glass, created some contact, finishes it off with a 3-point play.
Now, Ramos picks up his second foul. And Jermaine Colon will check in.
Takes out Jonathan Ramos, who's had a good ball game. He's made a couple of 3-pointers in this one. Entertaining game here, tied up 35-35 at 129, but both teams are doing a pretty good job defensively and taking care of the ball.
Delbray puts his team up by 1 here with less than a minute and a half to play.
Until that one.
Throws it away down the other end.
Offensive foul on that play right there as he leaned his shoulder in there.
Kevin Sohn picks up his first foul.
Tried to create the contact, maybe get a 3-point play opportunity, but he lowered his shoulder.
Oh, loose ball is picked up down the other end. And a foul on that play by Lester Rodriguez.
You know, it's funny when you have a turnover, you always compound it with trying to make up for the mistake and you pick up a foul. But good sportsmanship out there. Rodriguez went up there, tried to block the shot on Gilbray, but didn't get it, and he went over and slapped him 5. He said, my bad on the pass. I think Central has to push the ball up to the floor instead of passing it along the mid-court line. Advance the ball to like the middle and the corner, and they'll get some looks like they did early in the ball game. Classical's taking advantage of them right now, trapping at that mid-court and getting the turnovers and turning them into baskets.
Rodriguez picks up his second foul, so he takes a seat as Moises Acevedo checks in for him.
Different press right now. It's good. All-out denial and then trap.
Oh, that ball knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Central Knights.
The officials let him play a little bit. A lot of bumping going on out there.
And at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be showcasing the Landmark Medical Center player of the game. Landmark Medical Center, world-class care close to home. Final minute now of the first half. In the lane, going nowhere was Acevedo. Back come the purple now. About a 10-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Long shot, no good. Rebound, fighting for the ball. And that rolls out of bounds, and it's going to be Central's ball. With now 32 seconds to go, the shot clock off.
Good rebounding there by Makama against the big fella Richardson. He was able to get inside him. He's much smaller than Richardson, but he was able to get the rebound, but couldn't get that shot off. Good possession here for Central. Big one. They want to go out with a good half. They don't want to turn the ball over.
Trap working here for Classical and a jump ball. And I believe that'll be possession for the purple.
Yeah, Acevedo hasn't played a lot in this game, but he's having a tough time against the pressure defense by Classical at that mid-court line. You want to advance the ball. You don't want to dribble it against the press.
Central retains possession here. Hold it for the final shot.
Pretty big knee braces he has on there. That thing's going to weigh a lot.
Basket no good. Big rebound and a foul called on the play. Richardson battling in the lane there.
Well, he's a tough matchup inside of Classical. Again, Classical's not big. You know, Jordan Duke underneath the basket. I mean, he's a big, powerful kid. Played football, like we mentioned, but he doesn't have the length that Richardson has. Richardson is 6'7". If he gets a position in there, he's going to get a rebound.
2 shots for Richardson.
Ooh. Richardson's going to have to work on his shot, that's for sure. He's got all the other skills, but that one didn't look too good. But he's only a freshman. He has time to work on it.
Cassier Maria checks in.
Well, if you're South Central right here, you want to deny if you can Abdullah the ball, Abdullah Evans. I mean, because he's so fast. If he gets the ball, he can push the ball up with 7 seconds to go.
3 seconds.
Good D.
And shot at the buzzer, no good. All right. So we got 2 quarters down, 2 quarters to go. We got one heck of a ball game here. The rivalry game. It's Classical versus Central. The purple leading it by 3. We're back with our halftime report right after this.
It's time for the Ortho Rhode Island Halftime Report, sponsored by Ortho Rhode Island, caring for your every move.
They want to give second shot opportunity to Central.
Elijah Reed with a hoop, and we have our first little drive to the hoop and a nice little scoop down the other end. Mekhi Richardson goes in, and that one tipped.
It's time for the Ortho Rhode Island Halftime Report, Sponsored by Ortho Rhode Island, caring for your every move.
Hi everyone, Sports Team 10's Frank Carpano here as we continue to shine a light on local high school athletes. NBC 10 is proud to sponsor Landmark Medical's High School Hoops Scholar Athletes of the Week. This week's Scholar Athletes are
Jasmine Berganza of Classical High School and Demetrius Wiggins of Central High School. Jasmine is on the track team for the Purple and holds a 93% numerical grade average. She's also been named an All-American for track and has received academic honors. As she gets older, Jasmine hopes to pursue a career in biology. As for Demetrius, he's a member of the football and indoor and outdoor track teams. Demetrius holds an 87% numerical grade average. He's captain of the track teams where he competes in the high jump and triple long jump. As if that's not enough, this fall Demetrius was named an All-State football player. Congratulations, Jasmine and Demetrius, on all your accomplishments inside and outside the classroom. And good luck the rest of the school year. It's time for the Ortho Rhode Island Halftime Report, sponsored by Ortho Rhode Island, caring for your every move.
Hey guys, hold the ball.
And welcome back to halftime activities as we await the second half of tonight's high school hoops game between Central and Classical. Renee Walker is vice principal at Central High School, joining us tonight. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
What's it like in the lead up to a rivalry game like this? And we talk about, teams being cross-town rivals. This is cross-street rivals.
In the same backyard, yeah. This is the best game of the year. Hopefully you guys are hearing the fans. And it's so funny because we're so intermingled as a school. Our AP is their head coach. I'm an AP. I graduated from Classical. One of our assistant coaches graduated from Central, beat Classical in the state championship. So the rivalry's alive and well, even though they're at the top and we're trying to fight our way out. It's been a big deal all week. I couldn't wear purple all week. I even had to re-dye my hair. But
is it really playful in school? I mean, kids teasing?
Oh yeah, myself and Mr. Cavanaugh, who's Classical's coach, all week they've been trying to. He always wears a purple tie every game day. They wouldn't let him wear it today. He did not, but he wouldn't wear a Central shirt to work today because he's Classical on game days. So it's very interesting. It's been great, and I just hope that the fans appreciate what's happening here, and the players can just take it in and enjoy it because it doesn't happen every day.
Sure, and I know that there's a bit of an initiative that's going on tonight, which explains your pink shirt. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Sure. So we're partnering with the Joe Andruzzi Fund, which, as everybody knows, a former New England Patriot who battled cancer. Michelle Rawcliffe, our grade AD, got together with him. We got some shirts made up. Our school's been getting money together. We have a 50-50 raffle today. Everybody's going to have a pink out, and half the proceeds from tonight are going to the raffle. The other half are going right back to his foundation, and we're hoping that that's something that will resonate with our students and our student athletes as a way of using sports to better their community.
Well, listen, best of luck with that and the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you so much.
All right, more halftime activities coming up. Central versus Classical, second half coming up in just a few minutes. We'll be right back.
It's time for the Ortho Rhode Island Halftime Report, sponsored by Ortho Rhode Island, caring for your every move.
You want to give a second shot
up. Providence as we are at halftime. Central and Classical, great ball game tonight. Classical leading it by 3 points, 38-35. Frank Carpano and Joe Hassett here as we recap a little bit of the first half. Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights, Joe.
Yeah, that was a good play there by Elijah Reed. I mean, he's the guy that you got to watch about.
Delbray.
And Delbray, he's been awesome. And then the young freshman there, Richardson, who's had a good half. I mean, you can't key on any guy, and either one of these teams are all effective shooting the ball.
Devin Sohn. Well, Classical leading scorer for them is Azzy Harrison with 14 points. Central, Lester Rodriguez, who came off the bench, has 11 points. 2 players in double figures here. And some good defense played as well.
Yeah, the defense right there by Richardson, the 6'7" freshman. He's a shot blocker inside. He blocked that shot, but there's plenty of other shots he's altered out there.
All right, take a look at some of the first half stats here. What jumps out at you? Anything, Joe?
Well, good shooting by both teams. I mean, you have Central 11 for 20. That's excellent. 8 for 18 by Classical. That's good shooting too. And 3-point shooting has been very good. But nice run by. It was a nice run by.
We're going to take a little break.
Okay.
Let's get this third quarter underway. Be right back. All right, second half underway here, third quarter with Classical Purple leading at 38-35. And in the lane, no good for Jordan Duke. Quickly down the other end. Classical lining it up as Elijah Reed gets it go for 3, and that ties the game here early in the third.
That's the way he started off the game too, knocking down a 3-pointer. We got a special guest with us here.
We do. Abdul Abdullah, former Friar, who's here tonight watching his son. Abdul Evans, number 4 for the Classical Purple.
Plays just like him too.
Abdul, nice to see you.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Your son kind of reminds me of you. You know, he looks like you back in the day.
He's got a little more hair. Yeah, but he does remind me of that old guy.
Well, he plays with your kind of flair too. I mean, he's very focused out there. He handles the ball. He doesn't turn the ball over, and he's looking for his teammates all the time. That's the way you played. You were fun to play with.
Appreciate that.
Is that something you had to teach him, or something that was just in the bloodline?
This generation, it's the player development generation, so he works hard at it. Doesn't play. These guys don't play as much as we did back in the day. We just played pickup. These guys all have trainers and they work out and then they go home and play video games.
Yeah, they get high school games on television.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What a blast.
Down the other end.
You know, you talk about trainers. It's amazing some of these kids. Now 2 or 3 guys come in from out of state to train them. It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
Azzy Harrison can't get it to go, and this one picked up down the other end. Lester Rodriguez floats in. No good.
Well, you played here at Central, right, Ab?
I mean, I'm loving this gym.
Oh yeah, this is big time.
This wasn't around when you were playing high school
God,
ball.
these guys are playing in luxury.
Azzy Harrison with a 3.
This is a good ball game. I mean, guys are executing, they're making shots.
Loose ball.
Good D. That's what
Evans.
Classical plays.
Harrison bouncing around, no good. Quick rebound there by Central.
You know, the key to the game for Central is they can't turn the ball over. Classical gets a lot of their offense from turnovers because they're not as big as Central, but they're fast.
Exactly.
And they want to get up and down and just like speed the game up.
Central's got some big boys. Got some big boys out here.
That freshman, number 22, Rodriguez, he's going to be big time.
That's a freshman?
Yeah, he's 22. Wow. He's 6'7".
Wow.
Long shot. It's good for Elijah Reed.
That's the coach's nephew right there, Elijah Reed. He transferred from Smithville to Central, and he has a nice stroke from outside.
He really does. He really does.
There's your guy right there, the lefty.
There we go. There we go.
He shoots it like
Good
you.
shot, champ.
No, he's a little better
than
you, man.
A little better than his pops. Thank God.
Does your son have hopes of playing at the next level?
He definitely does. He works at it. He really works hard at it.
Nice drive to the hoop by Rodriguez. We got a battle going on here, currently led by Central by a point.
Wow,
that's float game there. Float game.
He saw you standing over here. He says, "Hey, I got to light it up for my pops, man. I got to take care."
Duke with the interception.
But he's a tough guy to guard, your son. I mean, I wouldn't want to have to guard him.
Knockdown.
Son, that'll bounce out of bounds.
You know what's good about both teams, especially Classical, is that they move the ball so well. They throw 3 or 4 passes to get a better shot. You know, you don't normally see that in high school.
You really don't. They have 4 snipers on the perimeter and Jordan Duke man in the middle. So any guy can go for 20 with these guys, and that's a great luxury.
It is. You can't key on one guy.
Exactly.
Here's Duke up to Evans again.
Knockdown.
There's a shot.
There we
that's
go.
Good.
See, that's a good play by
good pass, Four.
Your son right there. Put it right on his rhythm. Right there on his rhythm.
You know what? He's almost like a chef in a homeless shelter. Like he's got to keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
He's got to feed everyone, and then he's got to try to eat himself.
Yeah. I mean, people don't understand when you have a good point guard, he gets the ball to you at the right time, and he's making shots like that.
There we go. I like that.
Man, he should have said to you, "Dad, get over there, get over there, and put that headset on for me, will you?" He said he's going bananas since you've been standing over here.
He's showing off for his pops. I like it.
He likes the prime time. That's what he wants.
Hey, tomorrow you're going to be over at the Amp with some of your former teammates.
Oh my God! The
1994 Big East Tournament champions, the first Big East Tournament championship for the Friars.
Dickie Simpkins sent out the text to us a month ago, 30-year celebration, and I just stared at it.
Yeah.
I said 30
Can't
years.
be possible, right?
Are you serious? Where did the time go? But my Friar bros, I love those guys, man. It's always a blast to see them. We still laugh at the same jokes from college, and they're still more as funny as ever.
That was a fun team you had. That was a very fun team.
Bunch of different personalities. Those guys, even guys that didn't like each other in college, love each other today.
Yeah.
Enjoy the day tomorrow. Your son looks great out there. It's great to see you as always.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, so we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Good seeing you, man. See you tomorrow.
Landmark Medical's High School Hoops.
Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses with same-day mattress and recliner eye delivery.
Welcome back, and tonight's delicious pregame meal delivered to us by the Medici Italian Kitchen in East Providence. A unique wood-fired kitchen, delicious entrees, pizza, seafood, and more. And the crew especially thanks them for their participation in our series of high school hoops games here tonight.
I'm getting hungry right now. Yeah.
Hey, we got a good one going here. 52-48, led by the Classical Purple in their rivalry game here against Central. It was great to have Abdul out here, and his son performed very well while he was on the microphone. And here he is bringing the ball down right to the hoop.
He didn't miss a shot, and he handled the ball very well. I thought Ab had a great analogy of his son playing the point guard. He said he's like a chef in a homeless shelter. You
gotta feed everybody.
Feed everybody and get some of your own shots. But you know, Central's done a good job in this game. You know, they're 2-5 on the year, but they're hanging tough against Classical. It's an important part of this game right now that they don't allow Classical to get a spurt going, because that's where Classical beats teams. You know, they're winning ball games by 19 points. And they've been in some close games early, but then they get the spurt, they get turnovers and start scoring in bunches. And that Central's done a good job of controlling the tempo in here, making shots, hanging tough in this game, down 4.
Devin Sohn at the free throw line for 2.
A lot of weapons on this Classical team too. I mean, they all can shoot. They all can score on the floor. You can't really key on anybody, because another guy will get open and knock down the shot. Elijah Reed for Central has been a real factor in this game. He's making shots.
We are right in the firing line here. That ball knocked out of bounds.
They missed that call. I know that should have been off Classical right there. They should take it. You should ask the other official to come in on that. Happened right in front of us. That looked like it was deflected off the Classical player. No replay in this, though. You don't get a replay.
Evans down in the corner to Harrison.
Good block there by the big fella again, Richardson. Harrison made a nice move, but he couldn't get the shot off on Richardson inside. He blocks the shot. Richardson has to have 4 or 5 block shots in this game.
And he leads his team with 20 points at this juncture. All right, from way outside, long shot, no good for Reed.
He's made some good shots in this one, but that wasn't a good one.
Delbray no-look pass to Sohn. Can't handle it, goes out of bounds. All right, quickly, here they come. Central Knights right to the hoop, and nice little layup there by Makai Richardson.
Good job by Richardson right there. I mean, finishes that one off. The big fella had the ball at midcourt, took 2 dribbles, and took it right to the basket. Not tentative at all out there.
Here's a replay. Protected the ball going to the hoop.
Yep.
Got some nice moves for just a freshman.
A lot of potential with him. But Central hanging tough.
A reminder to stay tuned at the end of tonight's game, as we'll feature the Martel Plumbing and Heating Play of the Game. Rhode Island's most trusted plumbing, heating, and cooling company for over 97 years.
And you've been all of them, all 97 years, Frank.
But one thing I'll always know, Joe, is that you're older than me.
You look a lot better than me, I'll tell you that.
You got that good living, man.
Well, we got to see this. The finish of this one here, 54-50 Classical. Central doing a good job of spreading it out, getting the ball to the right guys at the right time. The big fella Richardson here has been a big factor in the game. Rodriguez is their leading scorer. He's been solid out there. Elijah Reed's making some big shots, so Central needs this win if they can get one. They're 2-5 in the league. Classical 7-0 in the league. They're going to be tough to beat.
Reed leading his team with 15 points so far tonight, and from way outside, a three-pointer for Devin Sohn.
Devin Sohn has knocked down a bunch of three-pointers in this one. They're all three-point shooters on this Classical team. You give them a little opening, they're going to make it.
In the middle, Richardson outside now. Reed, little scoop shot, can't get it to go, but he's fouled by Duke.
It's a good move there by Reed. You know, he's made a couple of threes, Frank, so he pump fakes on that one because the defense knows he's a good shooter, so they gets him off their feet. Then he goes to the basket and creates some contact against Duke inside. He gets himself to the line for two. But this is a critical time for Central. They're down 7 right now, and they need to get some points here and play some defense.
All right, Jordan Duke playing now with 3 fouls. Jermaine Cologne checking in for the Knights, replacing J.J. Joseph. And another foul shot for Reed.
You know, Classical all year long, we talked about this before, but they're a team of spurts. They'll put a 10-0 spurt on you right away, and all of a sudden the game's over.
Here's Evans. Gets that to go. Another 3 for Abdul Evans.
Nice stroke there for the little guy. You know, good defense. You know, a lot of times guys who are getting pressured like that, you know, you need to throw a bounce pass in that situation. They throw the chest passes and they get the balls deflected out of bounds.
Well, as quickly as this game is being played, the lead changing hands back and forth, and now an 8-point lead for the purple.
Yep, and Classical's picking up the defense too.
And the ball rolls out of bounds, going to stay with the Knights. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Knights not moving the ball like they did earlier in the game, Frank. They're going a little bit too much one-on-one now. Classical's D has been tough on the ball.
From outside, Reed can't get it to go, nice. And on the rebound, nice little layup there by Jonathan Ramos.
There's a little better ball movement that time by Central, and they got a good look, and then what that does is it spreads the defense out and you get a chance at an offensive rebound.
Evans high steps it to the basket, can't get it to go. Richardson with the rebound. Quickly down the other end, lining it up from outside, no good for Ramos. And the ball bounces out of bounds, going to stay with the Knights.
Ramos has made a couple of those shots out there. Between he and Reed on the wings for Central, they're knocking down three-pointers. They cooled off a little bit here in the second half. But they're hanging tough right here. Down 6 to a good Classical team. They're just standing around a little bit too much now. You got to move the ball. I think they wanted to get the ball to Richardson to go one-on-one against Duke, but I'd rather see that more spacing for him. They're staying on one side of the court here. Play there by Rodriguez.
Big shot from outside for Jonathan Ramos.
Good pass there by Rodriguez. He went baseline and drew the defense, and Ramos is wide open, knocks down the 3. Good ball game here.
As quick as the game goes, so goes the lead. That 8-point lead for Classical, now down to 3. Final 35 seconds of the third quarter. From outside, another three-pointer launched and hit by Azzy Harrison.
I tell you, both teams have some good shooters on the floor. There's another turnover, though.
Harrison blocked.
Richardson with his probably the 5th block of the game. I mean, you go to the hole there, you got to pump fake Richardson. You're not going to finish off. Richardson runs back. Look at him. He's just waiting. He's lurking. Boom. He just blocks it. You know, with a guy like Richardson who's going to block your shot, you got to show him the ball. You got to pump fake, get him up in the air, then you can pick up a foul on him. You can't go in there and expect to score against him the way he's blocking shots.
10 seconds to go.
In the third quarter here, Rodriguez is the guy you want having the ball in his hands.
Lets it fly, no good. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. We got a good one going. The Landmark Medical Center High School Hoops, presented by Martel Plumbing and Heating, continues after this. Welcome back. Central and Classical in a battle here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Some of the fans gathered here tonight for this great rivalry game.
Heck of a ball game too. Both teams executing nicely, making shots when they need to make shots. You know, Classical looks like they were going to take charge of the game. Had an 8-0 run there, but Central comes back and knocks down. Elijah Reed makes a 3. Ramos makes a 3 and keeps him right in the ball game. And you got the big fella Richardson back in the paint, patrolling the paint there, knocking them down.
Just want to remind you can also enjoy these broadcasts on our Facebook Live page presented by Trattoria Appia Restaurants. Indulge in the familiar, experience the extraordinary. Just a stone throw from where we are here tonight over on Federal Hill. I got to remind you, got to think about the play of the game, the player of the game.
Oh,
that's on your shoulders, big guy.
It's a tough choice here already. I mean, well, you got 8 minutes to go here, but
could go either way.
A lot of guys playing good basketball.
Rodriguez picks up his dribble over to Ramos. Double teams. Rodriguez throws one up, no good, and the rebound by Harrison. Long throw down to Evans. Evans back. Nice. And the layup. Oh, what a nice play there as Arnold Mamuka scores the basket. Foul on Ramos.
Yeah, like got a pass there by Abdul Evans. I mean, that was a terrific pass. But Elijah Delbray getting to the basket. I mean, that's just good knowledge of how to play the game. He knows he's got his point guard in the corner. He sees the middle. He cuts to a place where Evans can find him, and he scores and gets the three-point play opportunity. Good fundamental basketball.
Oh, big takeaway by Duke. And the layup can't get it to go for Evans.
Well, that's that Richardson guy again, patrolling the paint. Here comes Classical now. They're going to get dangerous here in this.
Abdul with the basket.
Yeah, this is critical time for Central. This Classical team has done that a lot this year in their wins. They've won average by 19 points.
Yep. Classical building up here a lead, an 11-point lead as we are barely a minute into the fourth quarter of tonight's game.
You know, just when you think you have some comfortable situations here, there they go. They get off to the braces, and Abdullah right there. Abdullah Evans scores that one on the break. Finally, he gets a pass from one of his teammates. Abdullah is so good, Abdullah Evans, at setting up his teammates, and they found him on that one to finish it off. He's had a terrific second half, Abdullah Evans. He has to find his teammates for open shots, and they're knocking them down for him, and he's making shots himself. He's got a couple of three-pointers in the ball game. But again, Frank, I can't.
I'm counting how many times that happens.
It's only once. That's the first one.
No, last game you had one too. I didn't want to point it out, but you're allowed one a game. It's like fouls.
I'm pretty good. I got to the fourth quarter with it.
Of course, you're referencing your play-by-play partner for Providence College basketball, John Rook.
But you look at this Classical team, and they're dangerous because of their spurt ability. I mean, they'll put a 10-0 run on you, and you know, Central's playing a good ball game. I mean, they're making some big shots, but they can't afford to get too far behind this Classical team because then they just get that thing going, and then boom, you're down by 20. Can't turn the ball over for Central. There's a turnover.
There it is. Evans slaps it down. The nice pass to Delbray, and
Delbray finishes off. Nice pass by Abdullah. You see, a good point guard knows where to get the ball to the person at the right time. And that Abdullah Evans, he does that every single time.
They break the press this time down the floor. And falling down was Ramos, and he is hurt.
I think he might have a cramp, Ramos. I mean, he's yelling for a timeout. I think he's got a cramp. When he went down, he did the pump fake there, and then he tried to elevate to take the shot, and he fell. And when you get cramps like that, you got to get a lot of water in you, some Gatorade. And normally you don't get a quick recovery out of those.
Rodriguez gets trapped. And the takeaway once again by Classical. Up and in for Devin Sohn.
There you go. Classical, all of a sudden, it's a 15-point ball game with their defense.
All right, we're going to take a break here with 6:18 to go in this one. 72-57 our score. All right, welcome back here. Fourth quarter, Classical with a lead that's building here against Central. Tell you what, there have been so many, no shortages of plays of the game. Let's take a look at what picked out as the Martel Plumbing and Heating play of the game.
Good play there by Rodriguez. Nice pump fake. He gets to the basket right there and squeezes it off between two defenders. He's been like the microwave out there on the floor. He's instant offense. He's taken a couple of bad shots, but you got to live with that with a guy who's going to be a scorer like that.
Martel Plumbing and Heating, Rhode Island's most trusted plumbing, heating, and cooling company for over 97 years. All right, Central bringing the ball up here. From outside, launching, no goods. Elijah Reed can't get it to go, but they get the rebound. And on the putback, Jermaine Colon gets 2.
Good rebound by Colon right there, but good job by Central that time. They got the ball into the middle of the track.
13-point lead for Classical as they bring it down. The shot, no good.
Richardson with the big rebound right there. But you can't turn the ball over. There's Abdul Evans. He's all over the floor.
His shot,
boom.
Good.
I mean, not only does he run the team, he's the most important player on the floor right there, Abdul Evans. I mean, he runs his team and he can score as well. He's had a terrific second half here.
Rodriguez. Spin move to the hoop. Dishes it off, and there's the basket for Jermaine Colon.
Good pass here by Rodriguez.
All right, little kick by Elijah Reed. And Classical will put it back in bounds.
Central trying to pick it up now with the press, and that's dangerous against this Classical team because they move the ball so well. They want to spread you out so they can get to the basket.
Evans right to the hoop, wide open. Nobody stops him, and he gets the basket.
You see, when you have to press, you spread the floor, and Classical's smart. They're going to attack at the score. They're not going to pick it out. They're not worried about taking time off the clock.
Spinning in the lane, and the ball knocked out of bounds. That was J.J. Joseph, a little bit out of control, but fortunately it's for him. The Classical knocks it out of bounds, and it'll be the Knights' ball.
I'll tell you what, Frank, this Classical team just wears you down. I mean, they just keep coming at you. Central's played a good ball game for the most part, but too many turnovers.
Richardson loses control. Out to the corner, and there's a three-pointer for Jermaine Colon.
I mean, Central's hit a bunch of three-pointers in the ball game, but a little bit too many turnovers against this Classical team, and Classical just makes you pay when you get a turnover.
Still a 13-point lead for the Purple. Evans backing it out. Picking up the loose ball underneath. Duke gets it to go.
Well, Harris picks up the loose ball in that one. Little handoff to Duke inside, a little jump hook.
Inside, loose ball. Taken away by Reed. Reed inside.
Throws it away.
Nobody there.
See, the turnovers, if you're going to try to get back closer, you can't turn the ball over, obviously. And Central's had a lot of turnovers here in the second half, and that's due to the great defense by Classical.
There's launching from outside, another three-pointer. Azzy Harrison.
I mean, this is a good club. This is an impressive team, this Classical team. They all can shoot it. They all play with confidence and poise.
Reed's no good. Quickly 4-on-1 for Classical down the other end. Delbray can't get it to go, but right there is Harrison.
Yep. I mean, they just keep coming at you. They don't back it out.
Nice little dish off to Colon for the 2.
All of a sudden, it's an 18-point game with 3.5 minutes to go. Classical, again, very impressive team. They make you pay out there for turnovers, and they keep the pace at their pace.
Evans.
And when you got a kid like Evans on the floor,
wow,
he just makes all his teammates better.
You know, the 9 wins for Classical so far this season. Just 1 win by single digits, the rest by 19 or more points.
Yeah, they're impressive. I mean, they don't have a true big guy. I mean, David Duke's brother is a big football player inside, but he's got good skills and he can keep people off the glass. But once they get the ball, now if you're playing against big people, they got to get down the floor against you. It's tough to get back on them.
Rodriguez right to the hoop. He gets the basket. 3 minutes to go now. Delbray wants to drive, stops, pops, and hits.
Oh, they got a lot of weapons, this team. Delbray's got a smooth game right there. You see him use the screen nicely that time. Duke setting the screen for him. He just waited for the defender to go by. Look at that play there.
Rodriguez, no, and this ball will stay with the Central Knights.
Rodriguez got all the tools out there. You see that move there? He's between the legs, split the defense, got to the basket. But he took I guess he took a shot to the chops right there. He's going to come out of the game. Those guys, a couple of guys have had cramps for Central. I guess they're not used to this pace.
Oh, you got to drink a lot of fluids, right?
Well, you got to get in better shape, too.
I was being nice. Gassier Maria with that basket. 18-point lead now for the Purple. And foul there on that play. Will go against Cologne.
Yeah, Kevin Sohn. Kevin Sohn's a solid player out there too. He's offensive minded.
Devin Sohn at the line.
There's so many weapons on this Classical team I just mentioned. I mean, everybody can score. So if there's an opening, one of the teammates see it, he goes. And they like to get the ball to Abdul Evans to set them all up, but they don't need to do that.
Jump ball, possession arrow goes to Classical. All right, let's talk about the player of the game, Joe. And our Landmark Medical Center player of the game is Azzy Harrison, number 5 for Classical, 29 points.
Wow. He's a good three-point shooter out there. It's nice to have Abdul Evans out there too, finding him in the penetration. And Harris is a really good shooter, and he does everything else well too. He gets to the basket, moves in the paint.
All right, down inside of 2 minutes now.
You know, 88 points in the 4-quarter, 8-minute game. It's a lot of points Classical puts up on the board.
Loose ball, this one rolling to the corner, and diving after it was Maria.
Gassier Maria, you like to see that if you're a coach. You know, you're down 18 with 140 to go, and you go for that loose ball, hit the deck. That'll get you some playing time.
Heading down to Federal Hill, that ball.
All the way. Good crowd here tonight, though.
Our next game coming up next week will be in Warwick. Hope taking on Pilgrim in that one. That's on Thursday night, I believe.
I'll tell you what, watching this Classical team, I haven't seen all the high school teams yet, but this team's going to be tough to beat.
Way outside. Rebound, no good. Another rebound, finally nice up job. And in for J.J. Joseph, who didn't give up on that one.
J.J. Joseph's had a good ball game.
Nice extra effort there by Maria, but doesn't pay off. It's going to be Classical ball here.
Well, full court pressure by Central. Comes Harrison, the player of the game with the 29. He can finish at the rim. Nice play there. A nice move there by Harrison. Beat 2 guys down the floor. He had 31 on the game. Well, this is I keep saying it, but this Classical team, they're impressive to watch. Fun to watch, too. They're fundamentally sound. The guys make good plays out there. They all can shoot. Yeah, that's a good move right there by J.J. Joseph. Two good plays in a row. Nice play by Abdullah. Finds his teammate Harrison again for a score. I wouldn't have to guard Abdul Evans, I'll tell you that. He's a pain out there. You can't get the ball off him.
Back out top. Shot, no good. 15 seconds to go, and Purple will hold it out.
Yeah, it's an impressive win by the Classical here. 92 points. I mean, Central gave them a good ball game in the first half, and Central got that spurt going. You know, they average winning by 19 points, and they just have that spurt ability. And when they get that going with their press, and they can blow a game wide open.
33 points for Azzy Harrison, our leading scorer tonight. And the final score, Classical beating the Central Knights 92-74. We're back to speak with the winning team right after this.